Hey everybody, Craig with Single Length School. Welcome back for this week's video. So before we dive into this video, I want to let you guys know today's video, I reached out, asked for some recommendations on what you guys wanted to see. So, thank you guys for reaching out. That's how we're going to do today's video. If you are watching this video and you want to find out or you want to leave me a recommendation on a video, by all means, do me a favor. Down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button, and then make sure you go follow us on our social media pages. Over on Instagram and Facebook, it's at Single Length School, and on Twitter, it is at One Length School. And you can also find me in the Facebook group Playing Golf with One Length Irons. That's where I got today's request from. So by all means, follow us there. And remember, here at Single Length School, we're designed to help you golf smarter, not harder, and lower those scores. So today's video, as I said, was a viewer suggestion on something that you guys wanted to see. One of the things, as we get a little bit of wind here and some of my supplies go blowing away, some of you guys wanted to see a review on the clubs that I'm playing now and find out a little bit more about these clubs. So what am I playing now? How did I get here? And what do I think of them? So I am playing the Cobra Forged Tec One Lengths. These clubs came out about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. And really, I progressed into these clubs. These clubs are designed to, if you look on Cobra's website, these clubs are designed for a handicapper that is somewhere between, 8 to 10 down to a scratch golfer. So they're not full blades, they're not pro designed irons, but they are irons that are designed for players that are a little bit better caliber, or players that are looking to go ahead and be able to work the ball a little bit more. As I get my little buddy here popping his head out the window. Hi, Brock.
I'm not doing one, but the dragon just went.
Oh, that's okay. All right, go play. I'm shooting a video, buddy. Can you say hi?
Hi.
All right, I'll be in a couple minutes, okay?
Yeah, but can you pick again? I'm playing single game.
Okay, when I come in, we'll play the same golf game. The joys of quarantine, having your son pop in while you're doing a video. I'm not going to edit that out because I think that brings a little bit of realism to everybody and has everybody relate to the situation and what's going on in our world today. But back to the club. So the Cobra Cobra Forged Tec Black One Length. Great clubs. Let me tell you how I got here with my progression in clubs. So, a few years back, while I was still playing the variable lengths, at that point I was in some Nike irons. At that point, they were still making them, and I wasn't getting the results I wanted. I wasn't getting better like I wanted, and I decided and had some things in my mind how having clubs all the same length would help me out. So I was tinkering and playing around, and then did some research, and this is before Bryson really ever came and brought the idea of one length to the masses, so to speak. But I came across a company called Single Swing. You can still get them on Amazon. You can order right from their website. But I got a set 4 through lob wedge irons through them. I think they ran about $300, maybe $400, which at that time wasn't bad. A good entry-level set into one length irons or single length irons. Played with those, noticed some improvement, and decided to buckle down and switched over to the Cobra F7s at that point. Again, I saw even more improvement over the single swing set, and once I got my handicap sub 10, down 7-8, I really wanted to be able to work the ball better. So, but I didn't want to go to a true blade, and that's where these came in. I did some research on the Cobra website. They had the Cobra Forged Tec, which I didn't want to go the full way with. At the same time, the F9s, possibly, but these were the ones I had my eyes on, both for what I had read and who they were designed for, and also for the looks. I mean, this is just sick. Black on black the whole way through the set. It was something that I was like, man, that really looks good. That's something I want to put in my bag. So between what they wanted or are designed to do and the look, it was for me. Plus, right around Black Friday last year, Cobra had a ridiculous deal on the set. The set was a couple $100s off for 5 through gap wedge, and then on top of that they threw in a free bag. So it was a no-brainer to pick them up at that time. So let's talk a little bit about these clubs themselves. Now, yes, they are forged irons, but that doesn't make them the blades that we so traditionally think about when we think forged clubs. These actually still have, and if you look closely, you can still see there's a cavity in here, but it's not your traditional cavity. It's not as deep, but there is still some forgiveness in here, and they also have you know, a little carbon plate in here to help with weighting and things like that. But they're forged. They're one piece. The club heads actually do, to the eye, look smaller than the F7s, the F9s, and that's typically something you're going to get when you get to forged clubs. When you get to forged iron heads, typically they do run a little bit smaller than your two-piece molded irons. So that's one thing you get. At the bottom, on the bottom, and I don't know if you guys are able to see this here, but there's actually a plug in here that is, they put this plug in here to keep the club head weighting consistent throughout the entire set. So each club has a different size plug in there, but overall, I mean, the look, you know, they've got the Cobra name stamped here on the hosel. The look is just sick. You know, even when you're out on the course with these or out in the sun with these, it's ridiculous. I've had, you know, not the opportunity to golf as much as I wanted, obviously, because our courses are closed right now. But when I have had these out, I've had a lot of compliments on how it looks. And there's nothing crazier to me than looking down through my bag and seeing all black. It kind of makes me feel, you know, Johnny Cash-esque, where, you know, it's all in black. But, you know, look-wise, great club. Let's talk about performance a little bit, because, you know, I came from the F7s, a cavity back game improvement iron, to something that's designed more towards the player. So the biggest thing you always get asked is when you go from a game improvement iron such as the F7s, the F8s, the F9s, the Speed Zones now, towards something along this line with the Forged Tec blacks, you know, is there a distance difference? And I would say slight distance. And for me, you know, being around a 7 handicap, the F7s, I was noticing a little bit longer distance because I was finding the center of the face a little bit more. Compared with these, actually, I think I've probably, and I haven't had the chance to get the full numbers on these, but I think I lost about 3 yards somewhere in there of total distance per club, which to me, that's not bad, considering I'm able to work the ball a little bit more. Testing these out, I can draw it a little bit easier. I can fade it a little bit easier. I can do things that I could do with the F7s, just not as much, or as much as I needed to. So you do get that ability. One of the other things you always get when you talk about forged club versus, you know, the cavity backs, the performance irons, or the game improvement irons, I should say, is feel. And there is definitely a feel difference with these clubs versus the F7s. Typically with your game improvement irons, you're going to not feel the misses as much. So if you hit it on the heel a little bit or towards the toe a little bit, you really don't notice it as much. With these, you do get a little sensation that you know you missed the shot. So it's not, you don't get punished a lot by these clubs for a missed shot, but you do notice it with your hands. In the feel, the strike of the shot, you can immediately say, I missed that out on the toe, I missed that, you know, in on the heel. So you do get that ability, which overall will help make you a better player. But what I will tell you is when you catch it clean with these clubs, the feel is completely different than catching a clean one with a game improvement iron. I don't even notice it. When they say a forged club, you hit it clean, it's like butter, it's truly like butter. I don't feel a thing. You know, if I don't feel the contact, I know I've cured the shot. So that's one thing that's absolutely awesome about these clubs, is if I don't feel the strike, I know it's going exactly where I want it and the distance that I want it. So that's a great thing. Now, the next question you get, and I will typically get, is, okay, should I be playing forged or should I be playing, you know, game improvement? So should I go for the Forged Tec Black? Should I go for the Forged Tecs? Should I go to the Speed Zones or the F9s, the F8s, whatever it may be? How do I decide what iron should be in my bag? Well, it really comes down to how you strike the ball. You know, for guys that are missing the ball, not hitting the center of the face as much, and you're talking, typically those are your guys, you know, definitely a 15 handicap and over, where you guys struggle to consistently hit the center of the club face. You're going to want to stick with those game improvement irons, the F7s, 8s, 9s, the Speed Zones, even some of the other brands that are out there. You know, the single swings, like I said, that I had. You know, some of the Pinhawks, Pine Meadow makes a set. Any of those cavity back styles are for you if you're typically over a 15 handicap, because you're looking for something that's going to provide as much forgiveness as possible. There's a fine line when you're talking maybe 8 handicap to a 15 handicap on whether you should be in something like this that's a forged cavity back versus a game improvement full cavity back iron. And really what that comes down to is, where are you losing strokes? Why are you, you know, that handicap that you're at? Is it because of your iron play, or does your iron play save you and get you to the handicap you're at? Are you missing strokes around the green? Is putting your trouble, or drives your trouble? You know, if it's not the irons that are your trouble when you're in that 8 to 15 handicap range, then you may want to try out something like these with the forged cavity back. You don't want to go full forged, like the new Forged Tec that Cobra's released, but you do want to at least give something like this a shot to see if it can help you work the ball a little bit more. For those guys that are sub 10, typically you do hit the ball well enough that you can usually go to something like this. And if you're sub 5 handicap, there's even a good chance that you strike the iron well enough to go straight to the Forged Tec, which is, you know, kind of the full blade style of the one length irons. You know, so really who should be playing these irons, again, comes down to how well you strike your irons that you currently play. If you're flushing them all the time, and that's where the best part of your game is with your irons, then, you know, if you're looking into something like these forged cavity back Cobra Forged Tec black irons, by all means, that's definitely a good option for you. If iron play is something you struggle with, then that's something you will want to stay with a game improvement iron on. But again, guys, you know, feel free, check them out. Like I said, you can still find them. They are on a good deal. Again, the look is absolutely amazing on these clubs. I love the black look. Overall, performance-wise, I've noticed better consistent play with these as opposed to my game improvement irons. But basically that's because I'm able to do what I want with the ball. I can work it right, I can work it left, hit the shots that I want to hit, and to me that's worth the 3-yard loss of yardage with these clubs. But that's just me. Everybody's a little bit different. But again, guys, I hope this helps you decide what clubs should be in your bag. Again, these are worth it if you think you're ready. This is a great set to have, especially with the one length option. And again, guys, do me a favor. Down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button, and if you have any questions, hit me up on email, singlelengthschool@gmail.com, over on Facebook or Instagram @singlelengthschool, or find us on Twitter @onelengthschool. Guys, I hope this helps you. I hope this review gives you some idea of what you can be playing, what you should be playing, and hey, we're playing smarter, not harder. So take it easy, and I'll see you guys in the fairway.